Hi students, how are you doing today? I want to talk to you about your informative speeches in connection with your persuasive speeches. You just finished your informative speeches. You had structure, you had an introduction, you had a body, and you had a conclusion. You're going to do the same thing for your persuasive speech. You're going to have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Some of you, if you go back to the notes that I wrote you for your informative speech, you'll notice that I wrote, you need to have transition, you need to have this, you need to have that. Go back and look at those notes to make sure you don't miss that for your persuasive speech. Your persuasive speech is also going to have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. And I'm going to talk about all three of those parts, but I'm going to talk about the introduction first of all. And I'm also going to talk about what it is you're trying to persuade us to do. First, in a persuasive speech, what you're trying to get us to do is to change a belief, a behavior, a value, or an attitude. An attitude is, let's say that it's how positive or negative that you like something or how you feel towards it. For example, drinking bottled water. How do you feel about drinking bottled water? What is your attitude about it? Some people have a very negative attitude about drinking bottled water because of the BPA or BPO or something that's in it that is supposedly leaking out into the water in the water bottle. So I have a negative attitude about it. Someone like me, I'm just not sure yet because I truly enjoy my bottled water throughout the day. And so I like to have a very positive attitude about it. Maybe you want me to have a negative attitude about it, and that's your persuasion. Maybe you want me to change my belief. A belief answers a yes or no question. Do I believe water is healthy? Yes. Do I believe that ice is cold? Yes. Okay. Belief answers a yes or no question. And then there's behavior and value. If you're trying to get me to change a behavior, then your goal for persuasion is to get me to stop drinking bottled water. Don't do it. I had a student who delivered an excellent speech a few years ago who walked in the door, the classroom. On one side of the room put a trash can, on the other side of the room put a recycle bin. And he said in the introduction, by the end of this speech, if you are drinking or eating something that is in a recyclable container, then my goal is to persuade you to throw it away, to put it in the recycle bin and not in the trash can. Now that was a speech that he was trying to get us to change a behavior. Most of us did not recycle at that time. This was several years ago. At the end of the speech, everyone who had to recycle something put it in the recycle bin. Now, maybe they didn't all continue it, but they changed that behavior for once. I changed because of his speech. I recycle now. I recycle paper, I recycle aluminum, I recycle plastic, and I really wish I could remember his name because he was the one who persuaded me through his speech and his sources to start recycling. That's your goal. Try to figure out, what do you want us to change? Do you want us to change a belief, a behavior, a value, or attitude? Don't do them all at once. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to put together a speech that's 5 to 7 minute speech. Your speech is only 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, minimum 5, maximum 7. You can't try to convince us of all this in a 5 to 7 minute speech. However, you can select one. Belief or behavior is normally what beginner public speaking students do. And this isn't an advanced public speaking class. It's not even a public speaking class. This is just an introduction. I would suggest you stick with belief or behavior for now. And the next thing that we are going to talk about is the structure that you're going to put it in terms of the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. That'll be part 2. Okay.